We are live. Welcome to the Academy Sports Show right here on wherever you're watching. Hopefully, that is on Facebook Live or YouTube. We appreciate you so much for watching the show and staying tuned with the show and liking all the things that we put up. So, thank you very much. To learn more about us, it's Instagram, it's Facebook, it's YouTube. Search it all at Academy Sports Show. Make sure you subscribe to us, follow us, all that great stuff. And the more people that watch the show, the more the show grows. The commenters, everybody that participates in the show helps the show grow so much. The main way you can help the show grow is following us on YouTube. Subscribe to us at Academy Sports Show and trigger that bell. That way you get a notification every time we go live. I got mine. Do you got yours? I got my notification. Did you get your notification? So, with that said, man, make sure you follow us individually. Joe right there at the bottom, you see him at JWillow2 and me at Dre _ on air. And for more updates and stuff like that. And the poll, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the poll for this week is up. It's on the show page. It's on my page. It's on Joel's page. Make sure you vote in the poll because when we get to that segment, we will be tallying the votes and see who won this week's of the poll. You know, I think I ain't counting nothing. I think I got two out of the three weeks so far. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. I can't,
Is it really 2 out of the 3 weeks? I don't know if that's true.
something like that. I don't know, at least last 2 weeks in a row. But other than that, let's get ready to start the show. We got a jam-packed show for you, and the man to run it down for you is the man on my side over here, my brother, Mr. Joe Williams.
What's up, everybody? Good to be here. Good to be seen. Good to see everybody. Good to see my boy Dre in the building. Hey, mama. It's a Monday in the D, as I always say. And the temperature dropped a little bit. It was a little chilly today, but that's okay because it ain't snowing, it ain't raining. We've had a lot of sunlight. And it looks like on the schedule we got some 50s and some 60s coming up. So we're excited around here. I hope you guys are as well. And daylight saving, no S time, no S involved there. People always say daylight savings time, and that's grammatically incorrect. Is upon us. Did you feel like you lost an hour's sleep?
No, because I didn't have to go to work. If I had to go to work, I would have felt like I lost an hour of sleep. I was off today, so it was all right.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I didn't have to like anything to do, so I was able to kind of cover that hour. So I felt really well, really good. So and it feels like the day went a little faster today too. So that was cool. So it seems like we're off to a good start with this daylight saving time.
You heard it wrong too many times today out here.
Gotta help some people out, man. We're an educational show. So big show today for you, man. Listen, y'all know what season it is. You all know how we do. It's the season of just making it to football season. So we don't have a lot to carry, a lot to cover, but we try to keep the airways filled with some good stuff like top 25 list. Dun, 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 dun. Today's the day. What up, James? Appreciate you. Today's the day. We are revealing our top 5. You heard Dre at the beginning. Go on my Instagram. Go on his Instagram. You see it there. Go on our Facebook page. Go on the show page. Just find somewhere to vote. We want everybody's vote. Vote on the list so far. And we'll release today's top 5 of both of ours. And then we'll put the list together. And we'll have one final vote to let everybody decide who has the best list. All right? That's all you got to do. Who has the best list? Is it him or is it me?
Hey, look at you. Got it right.
Hey, I got it. Opposite way. All right. So, plus, NFL free agency period has begun. Free agents are out there. There's been some signings today. Not a lot to really talk about, clamor about. I mean, I like the safety we picked up in Cleveland, but we got some honorable mentions there. Big news in the NFL, though, the retirement of Drew Brees. So we'll talk about that. We kind of all expected that to happen, but it was made official on the day, the 15-year anniversary of the day that he signed with the New Orleans Saints. So that was pretty interesting. And also, NCAA tournament. Brackets are out. Michigan's in. Michigan's a 1 seed in the East. Michigan State is in. Matter of fact, 9 teams from the Big Ten. That is the part of the country that we are a part of the Midwest. 9 teams from the Big Ten are in. Bracket time. Brackets don't start until, strangely enough, games start this week on Thursday, as play-in games, and then all the I think the official games start Saturday. So it's gonna be interesting. They have a little different setup this year with everybody being there. So brackets are in. We'll talk a little bit about that. See what you think. Who are your favorites? Who do you like? Women's brackets are being picked tonight on ESPN Live. So kind of watching that, trying to see where Michigan landed in that bracket. But that's kind of the big story with brackets. And then last but not least, Eliminator. We started a new game last week. We'll share with you the results. We're going week by week victories with, at the end, the wins and losses will count the most. You might be able to tell from Dre's reaction who won this week. Can't wait to tell you. So that and always much, much more on the Academy Sports Show. Cody, what are you talking about? Kobe, you don't like my picks? That's because we're not even going to go there. Anthony Davis better be number one on your list, Dre.
I couldn't do it this time, man.
Hey, AD.
So far.
He didn't make a vote for AD in the poll.
Not yet. You already know. All right. So like Joe said, man, we're running down the list. Make sure you stick tuned. Make sure you stick with us so you can get the rest of that top 25 list. Make sure you stick with us. Do the eliminator picks. Again, you guys can participate in the eliminator. Pick one player, their matchup, whoever that is, and their points for that game is your points. And whoever got the highest total at the end of by the next show is the winner of that week. So go ahead and scout that schedule, see who your eliminator pick is for this week, and go ahead and put it in the chat. Stay tuned for the top 25. Right now, we're going to run down some of these quick hitters, and we got some NCAA bracket stuff coming up, some visuals coming up for you. But like Joe said, man, free agency is upon us right now. Today is the first day. Not a lot of big, huge hitters. The Dak Prescott thing went off last week. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers re-upped on the guys that they decided to re-up on, the linebackers, the edge rushers. Not a lot of big pickups, but a lot of guys out there that can help swing a franchise. So let's talk about our respective franchises. Joe, how's the Packers doing?
You caught me off guard with that one. Actually, I think I saw something on Instagram saying that the Pack re-upped on. They got their running back signed. Is that true?
Yeah, Aaron Jones re-upped for 4 years.
Okay, I just saw like a clip where it said he's back in Green Bay doing his thing.
Aaron Jones re-upped for 4 years. Williams is gone. He already said his goodbye. Your backup running back.
Well, he's going to try to go somewhere and be a number one back. I understand.
And then you lost your starting center, your Pro Bowl center to Kansas City. No, was it Kansas City? No, Kansas City got the Patriots starting guard. Where did your center go? Can't remember where your center went, but your center left. Lindsey, he gone.
Lindsey's gone?
Lindsey's gone.
That's not cool.
And then your other team, the Brownies, you guys picked up a safety.
You picked up a safety from the Rams.
Yep.
I'm trying to find the fantasy football track. I mean the free agency tracker. So we can get there we go. All right, free agency. That way we can get the actuals and the factuals here. Let's see what we got. All right. Jaguars at depth with.
He went to the Chargers. Lindsey went to the Chargers.
Ugh. Lindsey to the Chargers, huh?
Yep, 5 years, 62.5.
Woo! So that'll be interesting.
Yep, Tooney, Kansas City got an All-Pro guard from New England. He left New England, went to Kansas City.
They need tackles.
5 years, $80 million. And then I hear they're trying to get old boy from Washington too. That tackle Trent Williams. They trying to pick him up.
I'd say that's what they need. They need tackles.
In other news, I mean,
Patriots,
New England's getting,
yeah, the Patriots are getting Aguilar.
Yep, Aguilar, Jonnu Smith, Matt Judon. They spending some money. Jalen Mills, safety out of Philly.
Wow,
they got the cash. They spending it. So, and then that goes with the guys that didn't play last year back on defense. So defensively, they should be where they were last year, or probably better. It's just offensively, can Cam Newton keep this team in a positive direction?
Yeah. Yeah, so Browns picked up safety John Johnson III from the Rams. He was rated number 3 safety in the league in coverage. I like that. I like a potential no-fly zone with Johnson and Delpit from LSU, who was injured last year, with Greedy Williams and Denzel Ward in the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really liking the way that looks and feels. Lauren said that Jones took less to resign, would have gotten more in free agency. Yeah, that's interesting. So I wonder why do that? Or is it, do you realize where your bread is buttered?
Yeah, I mean, you still the Aaron connection. You still get to, play with Aaron Rodgers. You're familiar. They're the team that gave you a shot. So I don't know. This is his payday, right? You don't expect them to play out these 3-4 years and earn even more money. So this was definitely his chance to make as much money as he could, and he chose to take the discount.
How do you feel about your former first-round pick going to the Jets?
Keep him. Take him. I don't care. Shouldn't have picked him in the first place. Listen, he's a good guy, a good fill-in middle linebacker, but nobody that is game-changing. He's not a game-changing middle linebacker. It's funny because the Jets already have a middle linebacker that they paid a lot of money to. So is he playing outside linebacker, or is they getting ready to cut him? But I definitely want to see him and Robert Saleh together here in Detroit, but they got together in New York. So that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Wait, did you mention Matthew Judon already?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep. They spent a lot of money.
Jeez.
They spent a lot of money.
Jeez.
Yeah. Lauren says, Jones, he's a winner, people. Yeah. I mean, we both all season was talking about, why don't they get this dude the ball more?
Get him the ball. Yep.
So with Williams gone, it's just what's the guy behind him, Booker. So I guess
they believe in the kid out of Boston College.
So hopefully he don't get his snaps stolen next year or next season.
Yeah, it seems like they should be more focused on giving him the ball and then letting the big fella be that change of pace.
Mm-hmm.
But we will see about that. So Gronk back to the Bucks, huh?
It's
yeah, Gronk's back to the Buck for 1 year.
That's been announced.
Yeah, Gronk's returning to the Bucks, 1 year contract. That's what his agent says.
Gotcha.
1 year deal worth $10 million.
Yeah, he really didn't have nowhere else to go.
Dylan, I called him Corey Dylan. I remember I called him Corey Dylan.
Yeah, they like him. They like him.
Yeah.
So that's the new 1-2 points punch. James said, I thought Johnson, the safety, was going to Detroit because of the Rom Holmes connection. Listen, I mean, I'm not expecting much here in Detroit.
It's going to be a bad year.
I'm not expecting nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that's a guy, that's a vet. He want to win. Well, not a vet. I think he's only like 4 or 5 years in the league, but still, he's made a little name for himself. I think he was the captain on that defense, if I'm not wrong, in LA. So he was definitely calling the plays in the secondary. So Brownies, y'all got a smart defensive back, and y'all need a lot of defensive backs because y'all lose about 5 of them a season.
Every year they get hurt. Every year.
So you need a plethora of defensive backs that are worth it in that rotation. So, yeah, great pickup for y'all. But I didn't see Gronk going nowhere else. It was just pretty much the year and the money.
Gronk's going wherever Brady's going.
Yeah.
Come on. Yep, look at paperback. Yeah, this is – so you guys are in a true rebuild.
True rebuild, right?
True, like this could be a couple years of bad football.
Yeah.
So if you live in the city and you have any away teams you'd like to see, this is the time to get tickets because you're going to be able to watch some people play. There'll be a lot of visiting fans in Ford Field when we get back to normal. But, I mean, and a lot of Detroit fans. I mean, Lions fans are some of the most loyal fans there are. So they have a level of expectation that is always above and beyond what they should expect. But still,
not this year. You shouldn't expect nothing this season.
Nothing. Yep.
Nothing this season. Jared Goff, even if you believe in Jared Goff, he has nobody to throw to.
You're right.
Like, He has nobody to throw.
They have Kenny Galladay. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Not anymore. No Kenny Galladay, no Jones, nobody. You got nobody to throw the ball to, but white TJ Houshmandzadeh at tight end. That's it. Every play goes to white TJ Houshmandzadeh. So
just so if you're new to our show, he's referring to TJ Hawkinson, tight end that plays for the Detroit Lions.
That's it. Defense, wet paper bag. I got you, bro. Like it's no. I mean, we got a corner that we picked number 2 overall that we ain't even seen play. You know, so.
Lawrence, indeed, that's why I'm happy the Cavs stink. I get to see the Spurs in great seats at Rocket Mortgage. You get to watch 2 teams that stink. The Spurs aren't all that great either. But
listen, I really wanted to go to the Tampa Bay game last season. I was going to see Tom in that jersey. I was going to go. Like I was still in Honolulu Blue, but secretly like, get him, Tom.
Yeah. Oh man,
that was the game I wanted to see. But free agency, I mean, we still got guys like Joe said. We still got Kenny Galladay, Juju Smith-Schuster, Marvin Jones. There's still some receivers out there that can get picked up. You got the edge rusher Ingram from the Chargers. There's some guys out there. So Schefter, make sure you follow him on Twitter. Get that update. See where guys go.
Hey, now be mindful. The big names. This is going to be one of those years that's interesting because the big names last year we had, in the last couple of years, you had like huge moves during free agency, like were just huge kind of power shifts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Lawrence, you're right. They're a 7 seed. However, this year it seems like the main attraction is the draft for real.
Yeah.
Because you got quarterbacks in the draft, and there's a lot of who's going where, who's going to move around. There are some moves that can be made prior to the draft that could dictate the draft, but we're still waiting to see. So does Russ end up leaving Seattle, and does he end up in a place like Chicago? Does he end up in a place like Dallas, like these weird places, right? Where somebody makes this crazy move and we go, oh, man. Also, does Deshaun Watson get traded? You know, does he end up somewhere? Like those kind of moves will dictate what happens in the draft. But if those teams sit, if Seattle holds tight and holds firm and Houston holds firm, then the draft is going to be interesting because the Jets have a Sam Darnold that has had nothing for a coaching staff for his first few years of his career. And some believe that he's a bust, and some believe that he just hasn't been properly coached. So do the Jets make a move? Do they trade the number 2 pick? Does somebody come up and get it to jump in? So those type of draft day situations could happen, but we have to kind of wait and see what actually takes place over the next couple weeks here.
Yep. If y'all don't know already, our draft show, that's our best work. The NFL draft show, when it comes, man, make sure you tune into us because them live reactions on the draft show. That's a
good
great
TV
show.
right there.
Yeah, I that's my favorite show. I love doing the draft show. The Lions never disappoint me with a great reaction.
Even in a year where there's nothing to expect from the Lions, there's always hope on draft day. You guys don't want to miss our draft show that Thursday night where we go through the first round together.
Yes. Yes. So, like we were saying before, like free agency, all the hitters, came early, right? Dak went off the board, JJ, all the guys that are really, that can shift the balance. Those guys are off the board. Now you're kind of just looking for guys. Some guys are going to not come off as fast because the cap went down. So some of these veterans are going to have to take less money. So now it's just really trying to find the best spot for you.
Right.
So we'll see what happens with some of these other guys that's out there. In other news, a legend has retired. Drew Brees has officially retired from the NFL. Definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer. Unfortunately for Phillip Rivers, he'll be in the same Hall of Fame class, so he'll be overshadowed. tremendously. But his time at the Chargers, especially in New Orleans, got to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Constant professional, great guy. You know, he just played in the Brady era, so he didn't have as many rings as he would hope, but he do got the one, and that counts for something.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a guy that's going to be missed in that city. I remember when he got traded, or I'm sorry, when he signed with New Orleans, and I heard something interesting on the on Sports Talk today that back when Drew Brees signed with New Orleans, he was with San Diego, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we all know how the Phillip Rivers to San Diego came about because San Diego drafted Eli and then traded for Phillip Rivers.
Right.
The other quarterback, though, that was in San Diego at the time that San Diego was willing to count on while they were making this trade was Doug Flutie. And the reason they didn't want to sign Brees was, one, he had questionable shoulder issue, and two, they said he was too short.
Yep.
So was Doug Flutie. But 20 years in an NFL,
it was a shoulder thing.
Career, and Doug Flutie.
Yeah. So
congratulations, man.
Rivers trash, not a Hall of Fame player. They're going to give it to him.
He's going to get in.
He's going to get in.
He's going to
get in. He's got the numbers. He just don't got the. He just don't got the chip.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's going to get in.
I mean, that team in its prime was like the Sacramento Kings of the NFL. You know what I'm saying? All glitzy glamour, LT, 28 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Not Keenan Allen. What was the other guy?
The Sacramento Kings. That was a great analogy.
Like you just wanted to root for them, but they just ran into the Patriots over and over again.
Yep.
Second round bust, the best record in the league. Second round, leave. Like they just never got over the hump. So that team was loaded. It just couldn't do nothing. Right. And Madden, I used to pick them all the time. That was my squad. Marty Schottenheimer's playbook.
Yeah, he's one of the greats. He's a former Cleveland Browns coach. I love Marty Schottenheimer.
Yep, rest in heaven, Marty Schottenheimer.
Yep.
He had no Flutie flakes. Man. I don't know.
Flutie flakes.
All right. So, I mean, that's all I got on Drew. Man, we'll see him on, I think he signed with NBC Sports. So we'll be seeing him on TV. Huh?
He's going to be on what? He's going to be on the Sunday Night Football?
Something like that, yeah. I see. I don't know what capacity, but they said he signed with NBC, so he'll be on one of them shows leading up to it, doing the Tony Romo.
Yeah. Tony Romo was pretty entertaining to listen to.
He is. He definitely is. I like Tony.
I'm watching just keeping an eye on this bracket selection, right, for the women's show. So UConn's a 1 seed. And then in the Riverwalk region, and High Point is the 16 seed, and they showed the celebration for High Point. Wow, you got UConn in the first round. You're gonna lose.
The definition of happy to be here.
Absolutely, I was 100% happy to be here. Like, thank you for calling our name. We're gonna go ahead and lose now.
Yes,
interesting.
Hey, everybody that's listening right now, we appreciate it. There's 3 @ on this. If you're watching this right now, go vote. Go vote on somebody's poll. You understand me? Go vote on my poll. Go vote on Joe's poll. Go vote at the show's poll. You understand me? Who got the better list? This is for last week's list. The list is up there. Top 25 coming up in a matter of moments. Vote, please. I'm begging you. Vote. All right. Joey has voted in all 3 polls. He's disqualified from 2 of them.
I was looking for there it is, but
vote. Whose list got the best one? Who's got the best list? Most closest to your own that you would make yourself? Or who's just other person's list is just so atrocious, just so bad that you just got to pick the other guy.
Wow. All right? Wow. Okay.
All right. So Let's make a hard pivot over to the tourney, man. If you ain't did your bracket on ESPN, I don't know what's wrong with you. CMU women got the 12 seed. There we go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You got the 12 seed.
If you ain't made your bracket, make your bracket. You can make 12 on them. Try to get some money. I've never see things like this. Win money on these things. You never see the person actually win money.
Yeah, no, I've never won like money online in the big stuff. I've won money in like pools with friends and stuff.
Yeah,
but I've never won. No, never.
It's like the car in the middle of the mall.
Yeah,
nobody ever wins that car.
It's like Publishers Clearinghouse. They really never show up at anybody's door.
It never happens.
I agree.
Happens. All right, so here we go. Here's the field. We got the Midwest, the East, the West, and the other one's blocked out. Is that the North? I don't know. Is that the North?
Oh, the South.
South?
Yeah, in the South, yeah.
All right, so we'll go to our resident NCAA basketball head here, Joel Williams, and you can comment below if you filled out your bracket already. Who you got coming out of East Region? You ain't got to go that far. Just look at the matchups and see who you like.
Well, yeah, so, I don't want to give away any of my juice yet. So Michigan got the 6th seed. The women got the 6th seed. I don't want to give them my juice yet. But in the East, I mean, there's some teams I like. I like the draw for Michigan. I think that when I look at the teams 1 through 15, 16 in that region, it's one of the easier regions. Now, that being said, there are a few tough teams in the region. Florida State's a tough team. Well-coached team. Alabama's having a great year coming out of the SEC with the SEC title. LSU's having a good season. Texas is having a good season. So there's a few teams over there that are in that kind of 1 through 8 ranking spot that are potentially scary. If I'm being a fan, I like Michigan coming out of that region, assuming that there's health in store for Michigan. My concern is getting healthy and getting back into that winning rhythm they were in. I felt like for a stretch there, they were efficient on offense. They were defending well. And right now, with the rotations being a little off with injuries having set in, the rotations haven't been the greatest. And offense hasn't been the greatest. And when they get into a situation of having to outshoot teams, lately it just hasn't been going well. Like I just had a bad feeling about the Ohio State game. When they didn't get off to a good shooting start, I just didn't like the way it felt. I kind of had a feeling that was going to be it for them. And then with Livers getting hurt, that didn't help anything. So I don't know. We'll see. But I still like Michigan in this region, but there are going to be some tough games. Watch out for Florida State. If you're picking, you should probably do a little research. Watch out for Florida State. Watch out for St. Bonaventure. I watched that game yesterday. They won their conference tournament. One of those little sleeper teams sitting there at 9. And then Michigan State got in, interestingly enough.
Yeah,
yeah, good for them. Don't pick them, though. This is not the year. I think they'll win their playing game, but I don't have them getting by BYU though.
What about Georgetown after winning Big East?
That's another one. I mean, I think that's a feel-good story. Big East. I remember when I was younger, man, the Big East was like the conference. It's not the same conference anymore. That's a great story. Patrick Ewing, and that team doing really well. Colorado's a really good team. People are kind of slept on them a little bit. We don't really give the Pac-12 a lot of love, so we got to kind of watch out for them. So I don't see Georgetown making a lot of noise. I think Colorado's going to win that first game, and it's going to be a setup between LSU and Colorado in that second one.
Got you. All right. Kobe said Michigan women's got 6 seed versus 11 seed.
I'm sorry.
They determined should end up with a big conference championship. All right.
Yeah, we'll see. Because there's a chance for all 4 seeds from there's a chance that everybody from the Big Ten makes it.
Yep.
Which would mean that Iowa has to beat Gonzaga if you've got both of those teams getting that far. Listen, if you haven't seen Gonzaga play, they're scary, scary good. So, I mean, the historical numbers don't support Gonzaga getting there. I think like the overall 1 seed hasn't made it to the Final Four in like 10 years or something crazy like that. and in the last like 6 years they haven't made it out of the second round. This was just weird stuff. So if you like the history piece of it and you want to take a risk on dropping a number one seed early, Gonzaga might be your choice.
Yeah.
Because the thing that's dangerous about undefeated teams is what happens when they get into a close matchup or when some pressure is applied. And we haven't seen that applied to them because they win all of their games by 10 to 15 points or more. And Kobe just said it, their conference is horrible.
Well, let's go to the West then, because Aaron already said that Gonzaga not making it to the Final Four. Kobe saying Gonzaga's conference is trash. I've heard you say before that this year's season of college basketball has been down lately, competition-wise. So, I mean, they could defy the odds this year if it's not up to par. But how do you see the West going? Because right now, people not high on Gonzaga.
Yeah, they could defy it, but everybody's beatable. I mean, this region's loaded. I mean, and it's loaded. It's loaded all the way through to at least to the 13 seed. I mean, there's a kid that plays for Ohio that some people are saying is going to be first round draft pick, first 10, 15 picks. UC Santa Barbara is really good. There's a kid from Creighton that's really good. So those are the folks that are right there at the top half of that bracket that could see Gonzaga in the later rounds. Oklahoma's a good basketball team. So, I mean, there's some things that could happen where Gonzaga gets challenged. And the question is going to be, what happens when they get into a close game? Mm-hmm. That's what's going to be. They're going to this conference. They're going into the tournament undefeated. Like I said, they're averaging. I want to say the average is maybe 20 plus or more per victory. So they have not been tested. Not at all. Like not at all. If we were, I mean, in any sport, right? We're football coaches. If we were rolling into the playoffs, 8-0, and we blanked everybody 32-0,
right?
Mercy to everybody, I would not be excited. Like, right. We have not been tested. So what happens when these guys get tested? These are still 22-year-olds. So we'll have to see what happens. Iowa, they're the 2 seed. Garza's a player of the year candidate. Some people believe he's already won it. They shoot the 3 really well. Kansas is a blue blood, traditional powerhouse. Not as powerful this year, but people are kind of sleeping on them because they had a little bit of a layover with COVID. Who didn't, right? So, and then, like I said, the UC Santa Barbara in this bracket and Ohio in this bracket are – a lot of people are picking – matter of fact, I'll throw it out there. Those are my 2 upset picks in the West for the first round. I got UC Santa Barbara over Creighton and Ohio over Virginia. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. Will Gonzaga get tested? Yes. If they don't, if it comes Elite 8 and we're talking about these games and the Zags have blown out everybody by 20 or more, we might already be giving it up and we might be looking to maybe say, okay, well, it better be Michigan or coming out of the East or somebody coming out of the East in the court in the semis, or that championship game is going to be a classic, because that means they're not going to see no fight until they get to the big boys.
Yeah, I mean, and that the 1-2 matchup looks promising too, like you were saying, and them in Iowa as well. So we can hold hope that the Big Ten can come through on that one, just to make it easier for everybody else.
Yeah, you could be looking at a Final Four matchup, semifinal game. If Iowa were to somehow get out of this bracket, Michigan gets out of theirs, you're looking at an Iowa-Michigan semifinal.
Yep.
Because the winner of the West and East regions they play each other in the semifinals, because they set it up to where Baylor and Gonzaga would meet in the championship game as the 1v2, the top 2 number 1 seeds going in.
This South bracket looks a little open. Like it's kind of anybody's money here, right?
I think the South bracket is the most open bracket in the tournament, because to me, they're really good. But remember, all year we kept saying it's Gonzaga, Baylor, and then anybody else. Mm-hmm. I feel like towards the end of the season, Baylor came back to earth. Now it's a question is, can they get hot and get back to kind of being that elite team? I don't know. And to be honest with you, Wisconsin's one of those teams maybe in the second round that could upset Baylor just because they slow everything down and they defend well. North Carolina rebounds the ball really well. Maybe that's a scary thing for Baylor. Yep. Later on, you got teams like Texas Tech. They scrap and fight the whole time. They're really good. Arkansas is really good. And we've seen Ohio State a few times, so we know what they can do. That, to me, is the region where I I don't have Baylor making the Final Four. I'll throw that out there. I'm kind of giving away some of my stuff, but I don't have Baylor making the Final Four.
Kobe's going for all Big Ten Final Four.
Yeah, I started to do that in one of my brackets and was like, I just don't see it. But maybe I'll put that in. Since on the ESPN predictor, you can put in like 15 brackets.
Oh yeah, you can do as many as you want.
Yeah, so
how about the Blue Bloods in this one, like North Carolina and Constant and Villanova?
Yeah, North Carolina's young in the backcourt. They turn the ball over a lot, so I think that'll come back to haunt them. I think if you don't have good superior guard play when you get to this point in the season, if you look at a lot of teams that win these championships and win in these tournaments, if you got juniors and seniors, you're in a good place. And if you got a senior or a junior experienced backcourt, you're in a good place. They're young in the backcourt. They offensive rebound really, really well, but I like Wisconsin in that game. I just think Wisconsin's a well-coached team, and the battle of being in the Big Ten is going to help them at least win a game or two in the tourney. And then who's the other team? Villanova. I haven't seen them that much this year. They're a 5 seed. It's quiet. Usually they're there as, Villanova, but they're quiet this year, so I haven't really seen much. I have them winning against Winthrop just by name recognition. Just by assumption that they're still a really well coached team, so we'll have to see how that plays out.
And then finally, the Midwest, man. I mean, Illinois, they real, right?
Yeah, Kobe. I don't like Michigan, Illinois in the national championship unless we're healthy.
They're real.
Yeah, they real. Yeah, they real. Yeah, I don't like the matchup. They just guard you so hard. I mean, they show. I was surprised Ohio State took them as far as they did. Illinois guards you up top so hard, so far out. The big fella in the middle is just dominating. They're super athletic, and they seem to play with a tempo and a pace that so far is kind of unmatched. And they have a chip on their shoulder. They're talking mad trash. Like they feel like they won the regular season crown, and they feel validated by the Big Ten tourney crown. Like I did want to see the matchup with them in Michigan, but I didn't want to see it without Livers. So I was kind of glad that they didn't have to do that. Right now, if I had to pick today, I don't like a Michigan-Illinois national championship. I really don't. It scares me. Let's see how the next couple weeks play out.
Yeah.
To me, the team in this region that everybody needs to take notice of is Oklahoma State. That's the team in that region. Everybody like that. To me, there's a chance that Illinois doesn't get out of that region because of a team like Oklahoma State. They have a guard. I believe his name's Cade Cunningham. Some people believe he's the number 1 pick in the draft next year. He is the real deal. And you have to watch out for a team like that who has that playmaker like that. The other team I'd be afraid of is West Virginia. West Virginia's been very, very, very good. Well coached. Everybody knows Bob Huggins. So they've been very well coached. That team's really, really good. And Houston, they're really good. So that division is loaded, but Illinois is real. Whew, they're real.
Yeah, in the one bracket that I did, it came down to Michigan and Illinois, and I picked Illinois to win it all. That's what it came down to for me.
Yeah, listen, that's not a bad pick. You can't. There's no way you can argue that. They look right now like they're burning hot. Right now, is this the time? Right? Are you peaking at the right time? We talked about this last week. Michigan was peaking, and it kind of fell there the last week or so. How do you get back up on that trend? Illinois is playing top-notch basketball right now. Let's see. Can Drexel make some noise? I don't think so. Can Loyola Chicago make some noise with them? Georgia Tech, winners of the ACC tourney. I don't think so. To me, at some point, the bottom half of that bracket is going to come into play, and that'll be interesting to see if any of the folks on the bottom side can make any noise with Illinois.
Yeah. Lawrence says UK and Duke not in the tournament is synonymous with taking Bama, Clemson, and OSU out of the college football playoffs at the same time. Parity overrated.
So it's interesting. I feel like he's saying parity is overrated. So is it better to have now? I believe he's a UK fan, so he might be a little salty. But is it parity to have? Is it better to have parity or not?
I mean, I think it's easier to have parity in college basketball because you got a whole bunch of teams,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, what makes this time of year great is you have teams that you don't expect to do anything, they do something. But just because you don't have those teams in it, does that take away from this tournament because you don't have the blue bloods in it? Or do you look for this tournament to be a certain way based on just, I mean, you earn it, you're in?
Yeah, I mean, it were these guys. I think Duke was out of both of those teams. I mean, they were struggling, right? I'm not too familiar with Kentucky, but and then Duke had the whole Corona outbreak, so that kind of limited them as well. So it's not like they didn't, deserve to be in there. I think they got the field pretty much right.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. This was. I don't think this is a situation where either team has an argument of being in. I don't. I think parity is funny because me and Aaron were actually just talking about this yesterday. Parity to me helps sometimes. Like the idea that every year we get excited for college football, but we know that the same three teams are going to be there.
That's true.
That could be boring. I mean, that could be looked at as like, is it more exciting to have these other teams bring it into a situation where we don't know who can win it? We don't know who actually can make this work. Is it? I think that's why people like to see Alabama lose sometimes because it's like, can someone else do it,
Right.
or do we just say, hey, beat them, and until you beat them, it is what it is. I don't know.
I mean, but college football is rigged in a way of scheduling, though. Like like they make their schedules hard enough to stay in that top ranking. I mean, plus your conference. Like if you go and schedule a 1-1 with, if Michigan goes and schedule a 1-1 with Alabama, they know that knocking them off is gonna, put them somewhere in the top. But if you're one of those mid teams, if you're like TCU back in the day and you just playing your division and you win a record after winning record after winning record, but you're not really playing nobody, you're not gonna be rewarded for that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the parity is hard to come by in football. I feel like it's easier in basketball because at the end of the day, you get a whole tournament. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the year to prove who got it and who don't got it. Like basketball gives you every option to have parity. You got your whole conference. You run through your conference. You run through your out of conference schedule, and then you go back into your conference to have a whole tournament. And then after that, you have another tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't really see the parity thing in basketball, but definitely, most definitely in football, you can pay for a national championship in football if you make the right schedule.
Yeah. It's probably harder. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, we all used to do it in the video game, right?
Yeah.
We changed our schedules to the harder team.
The harder, yeah.
Number one.
You want to beat all these great teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I like some sense of parity in all sports. Because I don't know, I just like to have a chance every year. I mean, it's interesting. Basketball, they're really trying hard to make parity. So college basketball has, I mean, they've got analytics involved in now with their strength of scheduling and how they decide. Their polling's different now. It's not just coaches poll; it's coaches poll, and then there's the Pompeo poll or whatever. I forgot the name of it, or a Ken Pom or whatever. I mean, they use different analytics to bring about what they believe is more of a stronger way of saying certain teams are really good and certain teams are not. So I think it's easier to get that there. I don't know that this tournament is watered down though because certain teams are not there. I think this was just, if there was any year where some of those blue bloods weren't going to be there, this is probably the year. I mean, when you have COVID, I mean, Leonardo just made a comment about FBI investigating. COVID just really did a number on everything and everybody. I mean, just the whole way that these teams have to kind of function. a lot of these basketball teams have been in quarantine since the beginning of their season. I mean, a lot of these teams don't go anywhere on campus. They stay within a bubble on campus. They're going to be in a bubble for their conference tournament, and now they're going to be in a bubble for the NCAA's. So a lot of these teams, I mean, they've seen their families from a distance because families have shown up to games, but it's been rough. And just if you had a team senior laden, good players sprinkled about, this was your year because they've been in the system. If you had a young team like the Dukes and the North Carolinas, considering their turnover is a lot more, they're going to have younger teams most of the time. You're struggling this year, and I think that's really what happened. And I think there will be a return back to normalcy from a recruiting standpoint as long as folks like Krzyzewski and Calipari are reigning supreme. Then you have to be there. Yeah. So Lawrence just said, he said, blue bloods matter. UK didn't deserve to be in, but I just think traditional powers matter. Yeah, they do. I mean, they're good for basketball, right? When Notre Dame's good in football, it's good for football. When USC's good, it's good for football.
Yeah.
The reason the Michigan brand has lasted is because when Michigan's good, it's good for football. I mean, in every sport, there are just certain teams that when they are back to winning, it's good for that sport. So I think there's a point there. But I don't know that this tournament's suffering because we don't have them around this year.
True. And another thing too is a lot of these teams like Duke and Kentucky, over the last couple of years or so, they've been subscribing to the one and done kids. And now the one and done kids are taking different ways to get to the league. Right? They're going to the G League, they're going overseas. So these opportunities for these one and dones, it's not really happening. So if you, like you said, if you got a super young team, you're going to struggle in a situation like this one.
Yeah, and that's going to change the game. The whole one and done concept is going to change the game. The way the G League is trying to grab these kids and the way kids are now deciding, hey, I can go earn money now. That is going to change college basketball if it continues to get the traction that it's getting right now. So we'll have to see if that really impacts things. Y'all have a weekly show, so you need to pay attention for content. What do you mean by that? I don't know.
Blue bloods matter. All right. Any final?
That's a good question, though. I mean, do you guys, those that are listening, do you think it matters that the blue bloods are in, no matter what sport? I mean, right now the UKs, the Dukes, the Kentuckys. UK and Kentucky, same school, but Duke, Kentucky, those teams traditionally there. I mean, North Carolina's in, but they're an 8th seed.
Right.
Not usually. We're used to North Carolina being at the top.
So is the argument just to put them in just because they belong? Or is to put them in because, I mean, did they earn a spot? I mean, you know better than me. Like, are these teams earning spots?
No, they didn't.
I mean,
UK didn't.
Over these play-in teams, over these St. Mary's and all these other, over App State and Norfolk and all these 16, 15 seeds? Do they?
No, well, a lot of those teams get in because they win their conference tourney.
Right.
But no, I don't. UK and Duke weren't tourney teams this year. So it's just a matter of, are they there for money reasons? Okay, I see what he's saying. He's pointing out the fact that I brought up Oklahoma and talked about if they were good or not, meaning we have to pay attention. Yeah, because we have a weekly show. But I mean, so Aaron said for money or good play, right? Like, that's the question. Like, what does blue blood mean to you? It's tradition, right? There are certain teams, again, in every sport, a lot of people say, hey, if this team's good, it's good for the sport. So if we go the next 2 to 3, 4 years and Duke and Kentucky are not in and they're having bad seasons, does that take away from it? Or is that like, to his point, it means that there's probably parity, right? Does that mean that you're going to get better basketball? So I think the purists would say for money, you want the Dukes and the North and the Kentuckys in.
Right.
For play,
maybe.
Debatable.
It is. I mean, it gives room for other teams to become powerhouses.
Right.
I mean, UK was down for a while. You know what I'm saying? And now they're back on the upswing.
They've been on the ups for years now. So Duke's always been on the ups, right?
Right. Like they don't
UK
really
went,
have consecutive down years.
yeah, UK took advantage of the one and done, and they were back on the mountaintop, right? So, but there were years when they didn't win it all, but they had a lot of one and dones. I mean, the Boogie Cousin days, the days of all the greats that are now in the NBAs. I mean, Leonardo just said it. Maybe some of these kids start going to HBCUs. You got to get more of that to happen. Yeah. I was just trying to help my wife understand that. It's great the kid went to Howard, but you need more of that.
Right.
Then they have to win. Then there has to be money. Then there have to be facilities. There are a lot of things that they got to compete against. So if you can get a bunch of McDonald's All-Americans to go to a HBCU, does that change the landscape a little bit? Does that make it interesting? I mean, it's just leveling the playing field, some people believe is exciting. They like it. Some people believe, if you want to win, learn how to get on this playing field. It doesn't have to be leveled for you.
Gotcha.
It's an interesting debate.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Thank you, Lawrence.
All right. Any last words on this field, man?
If you guys actually, this is weird. So if you guys hear me say DJ, that's who I'm talking to. We grew up together. I've never called him Lawrence. That's his YouTube name. So
that's his YouTube. Change your name.
His name's DJ.
Change your name right now.
Jets just got Corey Davis. Interesting.
Listen, that guy was a fantasy conundrum as well. 1 week he'll have 20, the next week he'll have 1.
But he's a target, though. That's probably better than any targets they have for Sam Darnold or for a quarterback that they draft.
I mean, if they expecting to get the Heisman guy from Alabama, that's another piece to add to target practice there. So,
ooh, interesting. Interesting. All right,
they did nothing. I know that. So we'll see. We'll keep you guys updated. Hopefully there's big upsets that we can talk about, breakout players, and those magic moments that we didn't get last year. So it's great to have the NCAA tournament back, and hopefully
it is
without any hiccups this year.
It is.
All right. So now is your last chance. It is your last and final chance. You see the ads on the video. You see Joel's ads. You see mine. You see the Academy Sports Show. Go vote now, because we are about to release the polls and see who won last week's poll. Last week's poll we did we did 6 through 10.
Yep, we did 6. We did 10 to 6.
10 to 6. There were some people on his poll that weren't on my poll. There's people on my poll that weren't on his poll. Vote now or forever hold your peace. This is your last chance to vote on this poll. So go ahead, press the button, and we will release. So how do you feel, sir, before we release our final 5? How do you feel about your list overall?
I like my list. Okay. I've admitted that there were 2 moves on my list that were questionable. I fought hard. Wait, what's happening?
What?
Something's playing back at me right now. Oh, because I'm trying to find out. I don't remember how to get the votes, get my percentages, but we'll do that in a second.
Okay.
But so there were 2 numbers on the list I thought were a little questionable. But I fought hard for the third one that was questionable, and I won there, and that was the Siakam battle. I feel like I won with the Siakam.
You won week 1. You did win that one.
Week 1 with the Siakam battle. However, overall, though, I feel like it's a strong list. I had bigs last week. We had the big conversation where I had some bigs lower rated than you. I felt like I justified it. So, I feel strongly about my list.
Okay. I feel like I have the superior list so far. I mean, I can't help but say so. I feel like I got my bigs in the right space. I feel like you were disrespectful to some players, and you gave players too much respect. So I feel like I'm good. I put, Russell and Paul George where they belong, and I put, Embiid and Jokic where they belong, and I feel like I got a strong list so far. So if you have not voted right now, let's go ahead and review the votes, sir. What say so? Your results.
So how do I find my results again? You gotta tell me.
You just click on your story, and then click on it again, and it'll show you who voted for who and what.
It doesn't show me that.
No.
I'm on my story right now. I gotta see where I see my name and your name where the buttons are.
Yeah.
Does that mean nobody voted?
So
People saw my story though. I have a lot of people have seen the story, but it doesn't look like anybody voted.
So you click it, it don't give you a percentage, like your name, my name, percentage underneath.
Oh, okay. Wait,
and then if you click the seen by, it'll pop open to see who voted for who.
All right, click it. Click seen by. Oh, there we go. All right, I got all these people viewed my story and only.
I told you, it'd be
20 people viewed my story, and only 2 people voted.
All right. So what is your vote totals?
2-0.
You?
Yes, 2-0.
I would like to see that.
Okay. TT and KJ voted for me.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. All right. So Joel,
I don't know if that's
per his vote, he has 2. Per me, I have none.
So many people saw it and didn't vote.
I know. Ain't it frustrating? It's y'all fault. Vote on the doggone poll. All right. So on my personal poll.
Wait, I gotta check because I put it on Facebook too. So don't have to check.
Go ahead. Check your Facebook.
Check my Facebook too.
Check your Facebook. Go ahead.
My story. View.
Kobe said when I voted on Joel's page, it said 100% for Dre.
Oh, because he voted on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So on my story on Facebook, you won 2-0.
Okay. No double voting there?
No, because none of my votes are there. I don't know where he didn't vote on my page. I don't have his votes on my page.
Okay.
I got 2 for Andre, 0 for Joel.
On your own page. Lord Jesus, it's a fire. All right. So right now we're tied 2-2 on your pages. All right. Here we go. All right. My poll, my page right now, it says, I don't know, 60, it's 67 to 33%. All right. Voted in favor of me. I got 2 votes Joel and 4 votes me.
Okay.
All right. One of those votes is you. So you do yourself right now. All right. Shout out to Stu. He voted for me. Appreciate you, brother. Jeremy, appreciate you. Halleck voted for me. Thank you. I appreciate it. My sister, thank you. My cousin.
Oh man. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna start politicking.
So I'm gonna give myself 1, 2, 3, 4 votes, and I'm gonna give you 1, 2 votes. That got you. All right. Oh no, Stu voted for you. Okay. So the 2 votes is you and Stu.
Thank you, Stu.
All right. So the show page, Academy Sports Show, which everybody here should be following right now on IG. All right. Right now, that says 60-40. Me.
Oh.
Okay. You see that?
Yeah, I see it.
All right. And the votes go 3-2, me. But wait, there's a double vote. Stu voted for you again. So that's
Thank you, Stu.
That's null and void. That one doesn't count.
Why can't we have multiple votes?
You voted for you again. So both of those votes are null and void. And then my 3 votes came from Coach Corey. Appreciate you, Coach. Somebody named Ryan Anderson. Appreciate you, Ryan. And myself. So we go ahead. 3 more votes for me. 1, 2, 3.
You didn't vote for yourself already?
No, that's first. I voted on my page and my page only. All right. And then Leonardo, I told you I was going to put it on Facebook just for you. Let's see if you voted. Okay. Facebook doesn't give you an option of putting names on. It's just, do you agree, yes or no? So mine was, whose list was better, or is my list better than Joey's? 100% of people said yes. All right. Those people, 21 views, 2 votes. My sister and Kobe, they both voted already, so they both got null that one out. So that was a double vote from both of them. So this week, Joe has 1, 2, 3, 4 votes. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So from a vote of 9 to 4, I won week 4.
TJ, you need to get on social media and vote for me, bro. Aaron, you need to get on social media and vote for me.
So today we unveil the whole list, the whole shebang. Top 5, the whole thing. Final vote. Who's better? Who's the top dog of the top 25? All right. So, we all know I thought we all knew who the 5 best players in the NBA are. So I'm just going to put the whole thing. Kobe said, you lost me at Steph. This man had Steph at 6. He had Giannis at 8. I mean, I didn't think.
My top 5 is legit.
Okay. All right. So I'll go first. I think mine is next on the slide. I'm just gonna give you my whole list. Throw me back up.
You ready?
Yep. So this is my whole list. This is my top 5. LeBron, KD, Giannis, Steph, Kawhi. Those are my top 5 NBA players. Kobe, I hope Steph is not too low for you.
Make sure you go back and listen to our reasoning as to why people are where they are on our list. So when you look at our whole list, don't go crazy and judge because my top 5 is different. I just gave you reason why certain people are not in my top 5.
I just feel like people should just be able to look at it and see if it's right or wrong. Why they gotta go back and listen to every episode.
What's the whole point of having
every episode? Trust
we
me.
have a segment every episode where we discuss this, so there's a reason why you should go back and listen.
Okay, go back, Joel. Once you go back and listen to every segment, figure out why he put those people there. I think my list has the eye test.
God, Kobe gets the bell for that. Kobe is and you are an extreme LeBron hater.
I got LeBron James at number 1, right? I couldn't put KD there because the combination of the last 2 seasons, he's been hurt. We all know what an extraordinary talent he is, but he hasn't had the opportunity to show it for the, 15, 20-ish games he's played this season. He's been a killer. He was an MVP leader. The guy thought he was on another stratosphere. Hamstring took him out. So I couldn't put him at number 1. Giannis is Giannis. Steph has shown that he is a top 5 player in this league by just showing up and balling out weekday and week out. And Kawhi is the best 2-way player in the game. So that's my top 5. You got nothing?
I mean, it's top 5. I mean, come on. How do you argue somebody doesn't belong in the top 5? I mean, my list is slightly different, and I think I have good reason, but I think you have good reasons to put who you put there. I could probably say, I told you why I don't have Giannis there. Because the dude, while he is a dominant person in body type, the dude is like, he shoots like 80% from the field around the rim and 20% when he's outside of when he has to shoot a jump shot. So, and they're always a regular season champs. So I didn't give them top 5 because they haven't won anything. The rest of those guys, legit. I mean, all NBA champs except for Giannis. I guess if there's one guy in your top 5 I would knock you for, you got 4 champs, you got 4 MVPs, finals MVPs up there. You've got a regular season MVP who can't shoot a jump shot.
2-time.
And one of those, I would argue, belong to LeBron. I think the second one belongs to LeBron. The first one was Giannis's because at that time the Bucks were nobody, and he finally got them to be prominent, and so therefore you got to do it. But I think the second one feels like LeBron's to me. So why are they interviewing Griffin going to Brooklyn? Who cares?
Who cares?
That's how you know the sport. We have nothing to talk about because we're doing top 25 lists, and ESPN is interviewing Blake Griffin about his view going to Brooklyn. Like, it's going to be a big deal.
All right, sir.
The question is whose top 5 would win. Let's look at my top 5. I mean, the only difference is one player, right? Oh, no, 2 players.
All right, here you go.
Man, my top 5 would win. Too much offense. This is my top 5. LeBron's at 1, Kevin's at 2, Kawhi's at 3, Harden's at 4, Luka's at 5. That's my top 5. Luka is the Kool-Aid one for me. Luka's the one where you could say somebody put something in your Kool-Aid. You drinking lean, you're not drinking Kool-Aid. That's the argument, right? Maybe you believe he hasn't ascended to that point. The bubble ball experience for me was extreme. The game winner, the killer instinct, the moxie. He needs help. He needs to get out of Dallas. Because Porzingis is not the answer at the 2 position to help him. I mean, the second at his side, his rolling, his running game partner or whatever, his Robin. But what Harden's doing in Brooklyn's amazing. What Harden did in Houston was amazing. I didn't penalize Harden. You penalized him. Harden was like 8 on your list because the dude had a 2-week period where he decided to be a jerk. But, I mean, that's like saying Kirk Franklin's really not a Christian singer and he cussed his son out. So, I don't believe it. We had to work that in there.
I will put my foot in.
But besides that, I mean, that's my list. Tell me what y'all think. Let me know. I mean, I get it. The Luka argument's there, but those first 4 guys, I guess you could knock Harden for the same reason I knock Giannis. There's no championship there. Then again, Harden's never going to win a championship.
well.
The dude's one of the greatest scorers that ever played a game, though.
Joel, I trade Kawhi and Steph.
And I'm rocking with you. Okay.
Oh, Kawhi for Steph. So he's saying switcher 6 and 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't drop Kawhi out the top 5. I
probably Luka. It's probably you probably think my top 5 stronger if you drop Luka to 6 and bring Steph up to 5.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Steph has been a consistent ever since his first championship. He's been a consistent top 5 player. I can see why, like we said, we did this list long time ago.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Probably before that. I think we were probably prepping it even a week before that. And the league was totally different.
Steph still
the Warriors sucked. Steph had 1 game with 60, and the rest of them were like, I don't know.
Yeah, Steph was still finding his groove. Yeah. He had a year off. So I can somewhat justify 6 for you for Steph. The Giannis thing, I don't know. I can't get over that. I mean, even if he was 6, like 8, you're penalizing him because he can't shoot. I get it. I'm not a Giannis fan, but I just say the eye test. I think I got it. I'm just saying. I just think I got it. But no, I appreciate this year, man. It's been fun. The NBA Top 25, something we do every year. And
hey, listen, next week we're gonna put this poll up. Vote. You're voting on the whole thing. All right. You might have voted week to week, and you might have felt some type of way about that grouping. But when you look at the entirety, look at the whole thing.
Look at the whole thing.
And look at the science behind my poll. And you will see that my poll is strong.
Okay.
Go back and listen to our previous episodes.
So
you can listen to us on the Purple Podcast app or on SoundCloud.com.
So Joel's bottom half: Zion, Siakam, Ben Simmons, Rudy Gobert, John Morant. Mine was Rudy Gobert, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, Trae Young, John Morant. The only really issues there are Trae Young's in my bottom half, and I got B.I. in my list. Joe had Pascal Siakam. I did not have him, and Ben Simmons was low on his list. All right? Next week, Russell Westbrook, Jimmy Butler, Donovan Mitchell. Is that his name? I feel like it should be Donovan. Donovan Mitchell, Bradley Beal, Trae Young. So Trae Young comes in this next week. I had Paul George, Devin Booker, Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons, Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, he did not have on his list. I did not have Russell Westbrook on my list. So that was kind of the switch out there. Next week, he went Embiid, Jokic, Lillard, Kyrie, Devin Booker. We both had Kyrie at 14, but I went Bill, Kyrie, Donovan Mitchell, Tatum, Harden. He killed me for the Harden at 11. I gave what I gave. Like he said, go back, listen to the tape. That's why I got Harden outside of my top 10. But I did give respect to the young cats and Tatum and Mitchell. He had Tatum in this group where he had Paul George, Jason Tatum, Giannis, AD, and Steph Curry. I had Jokic, Embiid, Lillard, Luka, and AD in this group. These are kind of like the guys that just a step away from elite, from these guys. My big thing on him was Dame time not being in that group. He gave his reasons for that. The ascension of Jason Tatum in his mind. And then his top 5, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kawhi, James Harden, Luka Doncic. And mine was LeBron, KD, Giannis, Steph, Kawhi Leonard. So those are the lists. Please judge them. We don't like to be judged as people. We just want you to judge the content that we put out.
Because I will cuss my son out. Just so you know.
Man, I thoroughly enjoyed that video. I said, Kurt, you my
Stop.
Any witnesses?
The memes are hilarious. The internet is savage when it
I
comes.
love it. I mean, just show your authentic self, man. We all mess up every once in a while, but it takes those people that's closest to us to bring that extra out.
Right. Absolutely right.
Family stuff should be family stuff. So like Charlamagne said, when he called you a punk A-N, you showed it by releasing that video because that was a punk A-N move.
Exactly.
All right. So I think I already got one vote, Leonardo. Please take that energy into the poll next Monday. Take it. Next Monday, there will be a poll on my Facebook. Vote for me if you believe my list is better, or vote for Joel if you think his vote is list.
Yeah, and don't sway anybody right now, Leonardo. Keep your opinions to yourself.
Keep your. This is a comment-driven show. Keep your opinions to yourself.
Don't sway anyone. I shall return next year with a better list.
It's been fun. We appreciate you guys and everything. Commenting on this top 25 list. Please vote. And we're doing player eliminator. So player eliminator. Player eliminator. How you play is you pick one player each week that plays either today or until Sunday, until the next show comes up. That person's point total is your point total, and whoever has the highest point total wins that week. But the catch is you cannot pick that player again ever until playoff time. So last week, Joel picked Zion against the Clippers. I think that was Zion against the Timberwolves.
Oh yeah, Timberwolves.
You picked Zion against the Timberwolves. He got you 24. I picked Jason Tatum against New Orleans. No. I just picked Jason Tatum on Sunday, whoever he played on Sunday. And he gave me 23 points. So thank you, Jason Tatum, for letting me lose by 1 point.
Winner.
All right, so player eliminator. This week, I'm torn between two guys. You got yours?
I have mine. As long as you don't have mine. But I won, right? So I get to pick?
Yeah, sure. That can be the...
That can help you if it's possible. So I have mine. This week, player eliminator, I am going with Bradley Beal.
What game?
Against the Sacramento Kings on the 17th.
All right. Bradley Beal against the Kings.
Obviously, you find a player, look for a sorry team, and hope that they score a lot of points.
So I'm torn between two guys. So that's just on, right? You're not changing that.
I'm not changing. I'm going Bradley Beal versus Sacramento.
I'm either going to go with Giannis against the Wizards today, or Dame against the Pelicans tomorrow?
Woo, you going big, aren't you? Big names early.
Big names early.
Giannis against the Wizards today or Dame against the Pelicans tomorrow.
Those
Help them out, fellas.
I gotta get it done.
Listen to the show tonight. Help them out.
I don't want to go down 2-0 or 0-2, so I gotta pick a guy that I know that can give me some smoke. I think I'm gonna go Dame time. I'm gonna go Dame time early. So we're going Dame time early. We're going Dame against the Pelicans tomorrow at home.
Got you.
So that's my pick. So
all right, eliminator picks are in.
Dame versus Beal. Who's going to give us the dub?
Eliminator picks are in.
Well, we appreciate you guys, just like we appreciate our sponsors here at Academy Sports Show. One being Mr. Mike Vaughn's Plumbing. Vaughn's Plumbing, both licensed and insured. Vaughn's Plumbing provides top quality services at great prices. Whether it's just getting up to cold waterproofing or daily home services, we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
VaughnsPlumbing.com gives you a map of all the areas that they service as well as the services that they provide. But we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
That man right there is the real MVP. And if you want to get in touch with the show or the fellas, make sure you hit us up at academysportshow@gmail.com. If you got any topics or if you want to be a part of the show, or if you want to schedule to be a part of the show, or if you got anything to promote, or if you want to be a sponsor. That's the best way to hit us at academysportshow@gmail.com. Or you can just hit us up, DM us at our IGs. Make sure you follow us both on IG and the show on IG. Make sure you follow the show on IG so that way you can get that poll consistently as well as the clips and stuff that we update. All right, man. Got anything else?
Hey, did you hear in other news? Apparently now racism is a side effect of diabetes. Did you hear about that?
His sugar was low.
Sugar was low. This is not a laughing matter. It's not funny, but it's so ludicrous now that I have to laugh. He blamed it on his sugar. Good. Hey, shout out to those girls for winning the state championship. They ended up going on to win the state title. Congratulations. I believe it's a Norman High School girls basketball team out of Norman, Oklahoma. If you didn't hear the story, which I'm sure everybody did, he should have gotten a donkey of the day. Probably. Yeah. He probably did.
He did.
So yeah, he had a racist rant and said it was because his blood sugar is low or it spiked. And when he's having blood sugar issues, he tends to say things that are very rude and nasty.
He gets Tourette's because his blood sugar is low. Here's the thing: when people like to counter, is racism? Is that still a real thing? They're lurking in the shadows, Doc, everywhere, and it's not even in the shadows no more. Because that's probably a normal guy. Talk about I'm in the community. Go to a black church. I'm the youth pastor. Your youth pastor is a racist. You understand me? Never knew it until right now. It's alive and well, ladies and gentlemen. It's alive and well. Yeah. I know what I said was racist, but there's no racist bone in my body. Did you read the apology? It was horrible. Utter atrocious. Alive and well.
Woo! Kobe said, no, Mr. Potato Head, no Looney Tunes. Yeah, Pepe Le Pew is gone. Cancel culture is in full effect. No more Pepe Le Pew. He promoted the rape culture. It's that WAP though. Yeah, if you watched the Grammys last night. Yep. So to investigate, Leonardo says to investigate means that they accepted his rant. We all heard what he said. No investigation needed. Yeah.
No investigation. It should be
nowadays you make a racist comment and then you just apologize and say, I didn't really mean that. I'm really not a racist. Well, there's certain things that you don't say. Like you just don't say them. Or you don't even do them. It's like, oh, I raped a girl. I'm not a rapist. Yeah, you are. Yeah, I murdered somebody. I'm not a murderer. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I just punched that girl that one time, but I'm
not an abuser.
I'm not an abuser.
You are.
You are.
Can you change? Yes. But what are you currently? You are that.
You are that. Hey, the Papa John's dude, he was real. He said, hey, it took me 2 years to get nigga out of my vocabulary.
There you go. There you go. Oh, man. Also in other news, yes, Lawrence, DJ, thank you. R.I.P. Marvelous Marvin Hagler passed away.
Yes, sir.
Rest in peace to a legend. Back when boxing was everything, especially heavyweight boxing. But it's actually boxing is pretty entertaining now.
Yeah, they said Fury and Joshua signed a two-fight
agreement,
heavyweight title. So
yeah, that'll be interesting. You think Wilder will ever be back?
I don't think he'll ever have that steam again.
That's sad.
I mean, that steam he had, he was red hot, and I don't think he'll have that going back.
Yeah, that one hit a quit of steam.
Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of people rooting for him. He had the fights behind him. I think the record that he had behind him, and now it's kind of like,
yeah, we kind of found out he couldn't box. Yeah. R.I.P. Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
You're gonna get more celebrity boxing than real boxing nowadays.
Yeah, that's a waste of money.
All right, so we got a tournament to look forward to this week. Basketball, NBA, see what they're doing after the All-Star break. See where everybody lands in NFL free agency, how your team is doing, and leading up to the steam to that draft show.
Yep. I don't know. We got to come with another top 25. We'll see what we can do.
See what we can do. I want to do you know how they do the they do the NBA all-time starting five, like who would you do? We tried to do this before, but I don't think we ever finished. I want to do an all-time NFL roster. Like, who's your
NFL roster?
Yeah. Like your all-time offense and your all-time defense. Once
you froze.
Quarterback 1 and 2. 3. Oh, I was out. Quarterback 1 and 2. 3 receivers set. 2 tights. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do O lineman if you don't want to do O lineman. Defensive line.
We can do. I can do a D lineman. Linebackers. I can do a whole defense. I can do an offense probably too. O line.
And then to Kobe's thing, like which team would win? Which team would win? And then
I think we end up having some of the same players.
Let's do it draft style, so we don't have to have the same players.
Ooh, okay.
So you got to come with other guys on your list.
All right, yeah, we have to set that up. Like, I need at least 2 weeks for that.
All right,
I got to prep that,
and then
I will do some research.
We throw our stuff out there. Whose team will win?
Okay. All right, we'll talk more about that in our production meetings, and we'll see where we land with that.
But until then, more lists.
More lists.
Help
us out.
Who would you rather? One gotta go. All right, on behalf of myself, Andre Douglas, I appreciate everybody in the comment. Let me get that out the way. I appreciate everybody in the comment section. I appreciate everybody watching. We see who's watching. We see who's commenting. We see who's engaging. Thank you for the likes, the comments, the subscribes, the subscriptions. The way to help us to grow is to share. So anyway, however you're watching, just share or tag your favorite sports friend on it so he can follow, so he can be a part of it or she can be a part of it. We want to grow. We're trying to grow. And the best way to do that is with the greatest audience that we have right now. You guys are part of the show, so we couldn't do this without you. So thank you very much. And my host, Joel Williams.
Amen. Ditto to what he said. See you guys next week. Enjoy your week. Enjoy the first weekend of college basketball.
And we out.
Peace.